Hi. Hello, hello, hello. All right. I hope you are doing great after this massacre once again. There has been a lot of panic again. There has been a lot of drama again. And I think this is the reason why we are going to cover and update the previous video on my channel, or where we have been talking about a likelihood of such a move happening. And, you know, I think this is the reason why we always talk about staying liquid, hashtag stay liquid in that case, because you are much better off if you are able to buy here than to sell. Because if you sell here, then you basically, yeah, most likely losing money, because if you're selling here, then you most likely bought up here, right? And your emotions are in control, and that is not good. This is why we want to update this whole scenario quickly. And I want to go over some altcoins, which I am looking at. And yeah, just to give you a brief idea how I am going to go forward and why you should still not be panicking about this move. Okay, cool. Well, we got the weekly chart here on Bitstamp, and basically what happened is we, like in the last video on my channel here, we talked about this move down here as a possibility, and it happened. And now I'm just, claiming cloud. Basically, that's what we do, right? No. Yeah. Why did this happen? And why is it probably not over yet? Maybe, but I'm still, when it comes to Bitcoin, I'm still leaning towards a bigger correction. This is healthy. This is good. This is not that you should be panicking. This is just how markets work. And as we can see on this weekly chart, the previous two candles have been really ugly. We have this classical crypto pattern or candlestick called Darth Vader, which is basically liquidating all the shorts and then liquidating all the longs. And then it kind of goes, or it kind of wants to decide where we're going with this, right? So what happened is we dumped, and we are now basically trying to uh, find a range in this area, but I will go over to a lower time frame chart for this. But as you can see, there is still a lot of room left for the 50 EMA, which is just an indicator I'm using, a moving average I'm using, which is quite a good indicator in this case, because it is a well-respected one, and we still have a lot of air left. And you can see it always kind of wants to test these levels, right? So this just gives me somehow uh, it makes me just more cautious on Bitcoin to not be like overextendedly long, and just focus on the altcoin market for now, which is basically up on us. This is going to be throughout the summer, and that's why we need this cool off, which we talked about in the last video. So you should check that out just to get an idea, and then you will understand why we are talking about this move down. All right. To make things a bit more detailed, what we can see is we are still outside of this upwards channel. We lost it here, And then we broke down on the daily chart, we broke down the 50 EMA. And now what you can see is that it is acting as resistance already. And if you're following me on Twitter, then you would have, you would have seen this scenario already. That my idea is now that we have been sweeping these lows here. This is basically where the liquidity was. You can also see this from the wicks. There has been a lot of buying pressure, and the last move, which we saw 12 hours ago, basically, or 15 hours now, has basically just been the last kind of sweep on those lows to just take out all the high leverage traders, basically. So now where we are facing, or what we are facing now is we are facing a minor daily resistance, which is not too significant, but it's still there. And in confluence, we have the 15 EMA, which is also acting as a resistance right now. We haven't touched it yet, but it's most likely going to catch up. And my idea is that we are probably or most likely going to retest this daily level here, which you can see around 51K, and then move up to this major resistance area here. And this is a very significant area to me because there is a lot of price action happening, there is a lot of consolidation happening within that range, and this means that this is not going to be easy to just break that and then move on from that. I see a lot of bullish tweets on Twitter. I see a lot of bearish tweets on Twitter with different scenarios. And when it comes to TA, it doesn't really matter if you're having a bullish or a bearish scenario. What happens, or what is important, is that you just stick to that plan and stick to your invalidation levels, so you are not just going to be flip-flopping all the time. You like when it comes to your bias, because that is going to eventually fuck you up, right? So if you are leaning more to a bearish side, like I do right now on Bitcoin, then I am going to stick to this plan unless we are seeing some invalidation. And an invalidation to me, to the upside, would be that we are breaking this 50 EMA, we are reclaiming it, and then we also reclaiming this major resistance area here. And if we are doing this successfully, then my plan here to actually test those levels down here, which are, quite painful for some, but it's not out of question yet. And I am sticking to this plan unless we are breaking this, flipping it into support, and then move up again. But for now, what I think is going to happen is we are going down, testing the 51,000 area again, going up, making everybody bullish again into resistance, and then dropping it once more into this area, which we have seen over the past days, and then actually losing it, because that's just the most or the max pain scenario I can actually imagine right now, and then retesting it with a bearish retest, and then actually go down to this major support area, which is around 40K to 42K. And this is not going to happen within a few days. This is going to happen within a few weeks, in my opinion. So there's no need to be overly or over dramatic when it comes to this scenario, but it's going to be a slow bleed, in my opinion, because we have seen a huge run up and we just need some cool off still. So this would be a nice bearish retest if we just take our friend Fibonacci and pull that up. Then it would also kind of be in confluent with the traditional golden pocket area, 0.618, around 48K. And from there, we are going to, or we're most likely going to decline once more and then actually test this 40K level. This is my plan. This is how I'm going to play it. Other traders are seeing it differently. That's totally fine. They have invalidation levels for themselves. But for me, we need to break the 58K level first before I'm actually turning a bull again. And yeah, before that, or I don't see any reason to be bullish or overly bullish right here, because there's a lot of resistance still ahead. So we want to test those levels and then, as I said, reclaim them. If that's not going to happen, then I see this scenario actually as a quite valid one, and I think it's going to bleed out a lot of unexperienced investors and traders. They're gonna get scared here, I can tell you that, because 40K and even maybe like a pull down to 39K or lower, this is going to wash out, to flush out the market, and that is healthy, because we have a lot of stupid money right now in the market who just want to become rich overnight, and they need to leave, and it's just how the market works, and that's why we are, or why I am focusing on such a scenario as a major probability in my books before I'm actually turning bull again. All right, so I hope you are liquid, and I hope you bought the dip here, maybe for this move up. If you did so, congratulations, and I hope you have an exit strategy now. That's on your plan, but if it would be me, it would have been here, and now I want to see what the market does, and then I'm going full bull down here again. Like if we reach this level, then yeah, then I have quite some liquidity ready to actually deploy, which is probably the best area to do that. Cool. Then let's hop over to the altcoins, because I think that's where the most focus is right now. Yeah, what we can see, and I have also been sharing this on Twitter for a few days now, a few weeks even. This is a scenario, or this is a setup which is quite important too. We have been smashing on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart monthly. We have been smashing the resistance here, a major monthly resistance. It broke down, and now the next one is on the what is this here, 56-ish level. So this, you can see it here. This is the next target for me as a major resistance. And what happened on the daily chart is that we actually flipped it into support, and this is a very good sign for the altcoin market, because this means that we haven't lost this monthly resistance or support in this case, and we flipped it perfectly, and now we are actually ready to move up to this level up here, to the next monthly resistance, and this is going to give the altcoins a lot of room to run, which basically is what we are looking for, right? So what am I looking at when it comes to the altcoin market? Well, trading wise, and maybe also some investments, there is this little guy here called Matic Network. It's been growing quite heavily over the last weeks and months, and I think this is going to run heavily because there is just an ecosystem being built around it, which is not, or shouldn't be ignored. Yeah, you should look into it if you haven't already. And I think this coin will do quite nicely over the next weeks. In my opinion, if you haven't already bought in, then I would probably wait to see if we actually could get some cool off, maybe down here to the 382 level. on the Fibonacci, which is also, as you can see, on the 4 hour and probably on the daily, is quite a good support level. This is also confluent with this liquidity pocket right here. So everything in here, more or less, would be a buy to me. This is a daily support, and if we drop lower, then I will probably target a level around here. This is also a daily support, but in general, this is a bullish coin we want to keep on our watch lists. Next one I'm watching is, and I think this is one coin I have been seeing a lot on social media, on Twitter especially, and it's built. It's you know, it's one of those coins which probably is going to outperform the market in like insanely, because it's built on the blockchain Solana, which has been growing exponentially, and to be honest, I have been ignoring that the platform completely, and it's now just basically showing its strength. And these kind of projects, I mean, SRM is Serum, or Serum, or however you call it. It's a DEX, and it's quite the hype. There is a lot happening around that DEX, and the fact that it is built on Solana gives me quite enough confidence to actually put some money into this, because the hype is there, the ecosystem actually works quite good, and there's just a lot to come still. And if you have been in the space now for a bit longer, then you know all those ecosystems, as Polkadot or Ethereum itself, or then there is also Binance Chain. They have all their own projects basically built on top of those ecosystems, and this is one of those projects now which is built on Solana, and a lot of hype is being generated right now around that ecosystem. So it would be pretty smart to me to just take a closer look into it, and I have been ignoring it. I don't know why, but you can't catch them all in this market. There's just too much happening, and better late than never. So yeah, this is another coin I'm watching. I'm not really watching it or watching to get in here. I actually want to get in around $8 if I get it, and if that is too ambitious, then I will probably look for an entry around the 382 level, 382 level on the Fibonacci, which is around $9. This will give me quite a good entry, to be honest, because we can see there's volume coming in. We can see that there is an uptrend in general. There is a let me check. There is a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and the next one would be a higher low again, if this is still going to be an uptrend, and I think it is, just because there is volume coming in, there is hype, and this is just one project I definitely don't want to miss for the next weeks. Then trading wise, because it just looks too good to be true, not really investing in it for other reasons. You do you, I do me, but this is what I'm looking for, a trade. XRP, and it's actually looking quite good for now. We broke out of this down trend here. We have a daily resistance here, which needs to be broken down, and I am looking to find an entry around this 4-hour support here. And hopefully I'm getting it. If not, then that's not too bad either, but I think the risk reward is quite quite good in this one. We all know how how Ripple or how XRP is running once it runs, basically. So you know you can hate it, you can love it. I don't really care. But if you're just trading it, then I think the risk reward right here on these levels is not too bad. And target wise, and I'm just really like using the FIB tool for this one because it gives a rough idea where we're heading. The next kind of levels which we could be watching is obviously back to all time, or not all time high, but back to its recent highs, which we saw around $2. And then I think it's going to run towards the this level here, the extension on the FIB tool, which is the 1618, and that's around $2.65. And then from there, we can move up over $3 on towards 370. And who the fuck knows how high we can go with this, because as I said, once Ripple runs, it runs. So this is one I'm watching for a trade, and I'm quite positive that we're actually going to see altcoins doing really well over the next weeks. You really want to focus on solid projects, but you also want to focus on maybe some smaller caps, some Uniswap trades, basically, or Uniswap gems, because there is also a lot of money to be made. It's risky, so don't go over there and be like, hey, I found a good coin here. Let's put all my money in there and see what happens. That's probably not a good idea. But you should just, keep your eyes open for opportunities and just stay liquid. Just stay liquid. Just have liquidity, because if you would have been liquid, then you could have just really been profiting from this downwards move we just saw. And the fear always happens because you do not have a plan, and you also don't have any money left. So then what's happening is you see your portfolio going down and you don't know what to do. So what you're going to do is you're basically going to cut it on support levels, on major support levels, because that's where the fear is the biggest. And then you think you're doing the right thing because you're cutting your losers, right? But what's actually happening is that you are just giving the money back to the market and losing money instead of making money, and then you will be FOMOing back into the game at resistance again, and this is just how you're going to get chopped up, and you will be out of this game really quickly if you just keep on doing this. So stay liquid, always have liquidity, and then you will be so happy once those dumps are coming, because then you just be like waiting for them, and you actually be like, yes, like now I can put that money in there, and it's just going to compound, right? It's just going to be really nice, a really nice risk reward play. Doesn't matter if you're trading it or investing it, but it's just a nice dollar cost average game in general. So just be smart about it, and we are going to have some really nice volatility over the next weeks and months coming to the upside, in my opinion, when it comes to altcoins. So stay liquid, stay smart, or be smart, and don't panic sell. Just well, that's easier said than done, but just have a plan. Have a plan. And yeah, I hope this gives you a rough idea how I am watching the market right now. And I will be talking to you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.